Now, taking a hint from his quote, we're going to talk about the 5 simple steps that everyone must use, again, be it in your professional life or personal life, to solve any sort of problems that you have. The first step is identify the problem. You really have to identify the problem. Moving on to the second is to analyze how did the problem arise? What was the reason for the problem to arrive? And then you have to brainstorm that what could be the reasons? How can I solve those problems? Now, once you get so many options, you have to select one of the solution, and the last but not the least step is implement. So the cycle, while I will spend 1 minute on each step, the first step is identify, second is to analyze, third is to brainstorm, fourth is to select the solution, and last but not the least is to implement the solution to solve that problem. Now, let's take a look at the first one, which is identify. This step is to identify the problem as precisely as possible, where you might have to ask questions like, who caused this problem? When did this arrive? Where did this problem arrive? What happened that this problem arrived? So when you start questioning of who, when, where, what, then you are on step number 1 when you're trying to identify the problem. Moving to step number 2, which is analyze the problem. Now, this is a very important aspect of analyzing the problem. There are numerous methods by which you can analyze a problem, and one basic one is the 5 why approach. You have to ask 5 whys. Why did this happen? You get an answer. Why did this happen? You get an answer. Why did this happen? This is a very simple technique which was introduced by Toyota for the first time and has been a complete success right from that era. And even today in offices, you will find the management and the people who are decision makers, they mull upon this kind of a solution or analysis, a way of analysis to deal and find a solution for the problem. Besides 5 why approach, you have so many other ways. You have affinity diagram, fishbone diagram, Pareto analysis, action planning, Gantt chart, so on and so forth. And I'm sure you guys can easily find all the information about it on the web. Now, once you've done that analysis, the next step is brainstorming. Now, there's a very important thing about brainstorming that I want to mind you about is always go for quantity instead of quality. Try and accumulate as many solutions, as many ideas from people as you can when you're doing brainstorming. Expand and improve on people's thinking. At times, people need that help to elaborate and to probably put some extra words for them to explain certain things. And rule number 3, do not criticize. You never know what kind of idea can help you solve that problem. So first identify, second analysis, third brainstorming. These 3 steps are primarily around your creative thinking. Now we move to the 4th step, which is select the problem, select the solution. Now that you've done all the brainstorming, you have to identify the type of solution you are looking for. And you have to identify who should select the best solution. Should it be one person? Should it be a team of experts? Or should it be the management who will take a decision? That's also a very important aspect. And third step, choose the best solution and that you will implement to solve that problem. So this is selection of problem, which is step number 4. Step number 5, which is take action, which is implementation. But even before you begin with step 5, there is one very important aspect that you must keep in mind, that you have a way in place to measure that whatever solution you have applied, is it successful or not? In case you do not have a measuring criteria, that problem can occur again. Or how will you say if the solution that you have applied is really successful or not? So make sure that there's a measuring criteria in place. And with that reminds me of a very important quote by Peter Drucker. He said, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. He clearly said, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. So, reiterating the 5 simple steps, you have to identify the problem, you have to analyze the problem, you have to do brainstorming on the problem, These are 3 steps which fall under the creative thinking, followed by 4th and 5th step, which is select the best solution, and last but not the least, implement with a way to measure it. This is where your creative thinking methodology or your creative thinking ability will come into picture. I hope you'll be able to solve your problem using these 5 steps. Thank you so much.